Do you want to make your home energy efficient? I really hope so, because it's going to be great for your bank balance. You're going to feel so much more comfortable in your house, and it'll be great for the climate and all of the grandchildren that are going to follow on from us. The first thing that you need to know is that a lot of builders don't understand this process. They're willing and they want to learn, but strangely, even though we're using a lot of the old methods and the older materials, it's not much talked about in construction yet. So it may not be possible for you to sit back and let them get on with it. It's really helpful to you if you can know some of the basics, and it's all out there for you to find. You just need to know what words to put into the search engine, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. So your first step is to read Beginner's Guide to Eco-Renovation. This will give you an overview in plain English and some key pointers that you need to understand. But one of the reasons that I wrote this was because I spent ages looking for the right things on the web and I just didn't know the words. And the day I discovered the word retrofit, the whole world opened up in front of me. So you'll get the key words in here too. So when we first started, I kept putting in the search engine the word renovation, which brought me some fabulous ideas for kitchens, bathrooms, new floors, what to do about the windows, paintwork, curtains, all that wonderful stuff that actually works with the house that you already have, making it look even better and really freshening it up. That's essentially what renovation is. It's making better what you already have. But then I discovered the word retrofit, and that means going back and putting into the house what wasn't there before. And generally that's become synonymous with energy efficiency. So we're talking about insulation, we're talking about making it airtight, we're talking about ventilation, air source heat pumps, solar panels, all the things that will make the fabric of your house much more robust and much better at holding in the heat that you've so lovingly created. Recently I've heard people talking about a green retrofit, which puts even more emphasis onto the energy efficiency side of it. But one thing to be aware of is that retrofit can also be used for the art of souping up a car, so taking a vintage car and making it work in a very modern way. So if you suddenly find yourself in the midst of garage information, this is why. It's useful to know the term passive house. Now this is always a new build, and it's a house that is so energy efficient that it actually doesn't need heating, it doesn't draw down energy from the grid. In fact, it probably gives back a lot of energy from the grid. It just uses the heat created by living. So heat when you have a shower, when you do some cooking, when you dry your hair, when you're breathing, getting people in the house and all sitting, laughing, having a cup of tea, you've had the kettle on. All those things give off heat, and the house is so well insulated and airtight that it's all held in place. So passive house is like the ultimate in energy efficiency. The retrofit equivalent of a passive house is an EnerPHit. I'll put the word down below because it's a rather strange spelling. But that has very high standards, and you have to buy into that before you even start your renovation. But it's very interesting to look at what are the EnerPHit standards that you might employ in your more average retrofit. Another word you'll find useful is sustainability. So essentially that means any materials that you use that won't damage the environment. It's particularly important in retrofit because of the choice of insulation materials that you've got. I'll put a link at the end of this video to another video that gives you some of your choices. Of course, as part of this process, you're going to need a builder. So the term eco-builder is quite common now. But please remember, greenwashing is alive and well in retrofit as well as anywhere else. So always cross-check. And if you want to find out if they really know about sustainable eco-retrofit, talk about breathability. Now, if you don't understand it, I'll put a link in here just above me now that will take you to a video about breathability so you can ask the questions. But lots of people don't understand this. If they know and they're talking sense, then you know you've really got an eco builder. Then there's phrases that we're already becoming quite familiar with, so air source heat pumps. Just out of interest, go and compare those to ground source, and just then you'll feel much more informed. You'll need to be looking at what sort of windows, so double or triple, but the label that you need there is U value. So the U value is the ability of the material to stop heat being lost, and the lower the U value, the better. But everybody will throw that term into the conversation, so it's worth you looking up and knowing what it is. Then you come to things like solar panels, so whether it's water-based solar or photovoltaic, where it's creating energy that can go into your battery or straight into your house. As soon as you start with these essential ones, you'll find it's all opening up. It's all there for you to look for, and you will find the important ones in here. So go take a look, and if there's anything that I've forgotten that you can't find, just drop me a note either on YouTube or drop me a note on Instagram. I'd love to help, and it helps me to know what to tell other people.